You guys have been asking lately here and there, what about the guys in Austin? Well, let's talk about them today. What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. Hope you're having a great week. The weekend is almost here, and I recently watched an Austin Spurs game, the Austin Spurs versus New York, whatever the next team is, and I was like, you know what? Since you guys have been asking about some players, and you might not be aware of the status of some of our guys, let's talk about who's been playing well and who maybe some players have moved on from the Austin Spurs. What? All right, let's get into it. First, let's bring up my brother from another mother, Riley Minix. Was killing it with Austin, 16 games, 33 minutes, almost 21 points a game, 7 boards, 2 assists. In shooting splits, a very tasty 53, 41, and 84. We could use somebody that rebounds and that can shoot right. Well, the undrafted pickup is out for the season. Torres labrum had surgery in January, if you didn't know, so Riley Minix will not be available for the Spurs at all this season due to his injury. And it sucks because he was a player I liked watching in summer league and preseason, and he could shoot. And I was like, this is something we need. Somebody that could shoot, and he can do it. But now he can't. So we're not going to see him anymore. But Riley, hopefully get well soon. Will he be with the Spurs at all in any capacity next season? Don't know. I think he is one thing I forgot to check. I think he's a little older, like 23, will be 24 next season, somewhere around there. So we'll see, but Riley get well soon. Up next, our second pick, 48th overall in last year's draft, Harrison Ingram. He's played 16 games as well, about 34 minutes, 11 points, 8 rebounds, about 4 assists, and I like the rebound and assist numbers. Those are good. But his shooting splits are worrisome. 36, 30, and 60. That's not good. That's bad. And if you're having trouble hitting shots in the G League, an obvious concern would be, are you going to miss those same shots in the NBA? Still young, but wanted to give you guys an update on Harrison Ingram because some of you have asked about him, and 11, 8, and 4 is great on paper, but how he's getting there with those shooting splits is not a great free throw shooter, not a great three-point shooter. His overall percentage is not good, so hopefully works on this. We'll see what happens with Harrison Ingram. Up next, the player that has played recently for our Spurs, just a little bit, 2 games since February 21st, I think like 5 minutes total. David Duke Jr., who I did not realize is in his 4th year in the NBA. Played with the Nets a couple seasons, with us last year, and shot very well in limited capacity, and of course just a little bit this year. But David Duke Jr. in the G League right now, 15 games, 34 minutes, 17 points a game, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. And I was looking at his shooting splits, and oh my gosh, those are very, very close to Stephon Castle's. Almost identical, are they not? I don't know Steph's shooting splits off the top of my head because I'm now going off a little bit of a tangent, but I think Steph is shooting around 41, 42, 28, 29, and 72, 73, so they're almost the same. Of course, Steph Castle, I think we agree, has a higher ceiling from what we've seen from him so far and what we've seen from David Duke Jr. in the past. Looks like he's just going to be kind of a garbage time guy for us. He shot extremely well last year, though, in limited action, so can he do that in the remainder of the season? Will he have a roster spot with us next year? Probably not looking good. But who knows? Let's bring up a fan favorite with the San Antonio Spurs, the Bouye! Jamari Bouye. Down in Austin this year, 11 games, 34 minutes, 17 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, and respectable shooting splits. You'd like to see the 3-point percentage up a little bit more, but 48, 32, and 80. But he wasn't under contract with us. He was playing for Austin, but not on a 2-way contract or any type of Spursy contract. So you may be wondering, TSR, why is he wearing red there? Well, on March 4th, 2025, 2 days ago, he signed a 2-way contract with the Milwaukee Bucks. And he actually played 5 minutes last night with Milwaukee. Hit a bucket. So the Bouye is gone, but not forgotten. He will forever have one of my favorite, quite possibly my favorite name to, well, I did like yelling Marco Bellinelli, and I'm not going to do that now because I'll blow out the microphone, but the Bouye is right there in one of my favorite names to yell when we're live. The Booyah! It's like saying the Booyah! Okay, I'm done. Promise, I'm done. And last but not least, also on the thumbnail is Malachi Flynn. And I was pretty sure of this, and I double-checked it on good old basketballreference.com. This man dropped 50 in a game in the NBA last year versus the Atlanta Hawks on April 3rd. Malachi Flynn dropped 50. Okay, and how has he been doing in Austin? He played in 10 games, about 34 minutes, was leading the team in points per game at 22.5, around 4 boards, close to 5 assists, shooting splits of 41, 35, 89. Well, he gone too, because on March 1st, 2025, he signed a 10-day contract with the Charlotte Hornets, and I forgot to check, but I do believe he played in a couple of games. So, Malachi Flynn, can he drop 50 again? I don't know. Not a player you expect to see in the 50-point game list, but there he is. And as far as other G-Leaguers, nothing really to make a lot of note of. During that, I'm just going to say the Knicks because I don't know the New York Knicks team. I'm pretty sure it was Nathan Mensah, or the center for the team, who's undersized, by the way. He's 6'9". I think he had like 7 or 8 blocks in the game, so he was blocking shots left and right, but overall, didn't see a lot from him in the summer league. I think he played just a little bit in the preseason. So as far as other troops that could come up for the Spurs, there's not much. So for what we do have, what's going to happen the rest of the season moving forward? Well, I think we'll see David Duke Jr. in garbage time because we've already seen him a little bit lately. Harrison Ingram, I don't know if they're going to bring him up. They might just leave him in the G League. I'd like to see him get called up at the end of the season. If once we're eliminated from the play-in, which we do still have an outside shot. We do. I'm not going to sit here and say it can't happen. We're going to have to play much better and win games we're supposed to and win games we're not supposed to, but it could still happen. There's enough of the season left for the Spurs to move up and get into the play-in. Once we're in the play-in, can we win? That would be a huge task as well because we'd be having to doing all of this without Wemby. But anything's possible, right? Any given Sunday? Be hopeful, positive? I don't know. But I like to see some of these guys that we're not sure on maybe get a little more playing time at the end of the season. I am a little worried about Stefan Castle right now because he missed all 4 of his free throws, and I'm wondering if that injury to his left hand, the thumb injuries, I didn't even realize he sprained his thumb apparently earlier in the week. He was wearing a sleeve and a thumb thing, and he was rubbing his thumb all night. He still looked good finishing out the rim, but is he going to end up missing time near the end of the year? And I hope not, because I hope this injury would not be something that, now I'm just going way off on a tangent, cost him the Rookie of the Year. You guys know I love talking Spurs with you guys, but I'd like to see some of the players, and not just these guys. I guess it'd be okay to keep in the G League. You're well, just 2 guys, your Ingrams and your Dukes, because Minix is out for the season. But are we going to find out if we have anything with Malachi Branham, Blake Wesley? Are they going to get any playing time? Is Mamu still in the doghouse for whatever reason? You know, some of those guys near the end of the season, if we are eliminated, let's see what we got. And at the very worst, see if they have any trade value, maybe a sign and trade. I don't know, but I want to talk about the guys in Austin because we barely talk about the Austin players on this channel, and admittedly, I don't either, but I want to do something different, and I thought this was different. So drop a comment down below. Have you been following the G League this year, and has there been any players for our Spurs that have been standing out that you wanted to see come up to the roster this year? Did you want to see my brother from another mother, Riley Minix, come up? Do we look alike? My goatee's bigger. If I shaved it down a little bit, maybe we would look a little alike. I don't know. Or maybe not at all. TSR says not at all. Harrison Ingram, your thoughts on our second overall pick from last season? Have you seen anything with him that makes you go, bring him up, give him a chance? Or are you looking at the stats I'm looking at, because that's all I've really seen, just a little play so far, and going, maybe not. And then David Duke Jr. Anything there? 2 years with the Nets, second year with the Spurs, 4 years in the NBA. Is his window closing? Are you disappointed that the Bouye and Flynn won't play with the Spurs this year? Let me know. Always appreciate your comments. Thank you for your support. Hit the thumbs up, by the way, if you like sports channel. Subscribe, become part of our Austin Spurs community. By the way, quick announcement. I have to do this. For those of you still staying, because it makes me happy. You guys know I have a second channel called I Make Crap. I got to 500 subscribers today, so woohoo, on our way. But the video I just put up recently of a Slayer song has over 1,000 views, which I know is not a lot compared to this channel, but all the positive feedback I'm getting on the video is incredible because it's a song I did in 1998. It's just a drum track, a guitar track, and a vocal track, and I'm actually playing the guitar and singing at the same time. That's how I recorded back then. The sound quality is terrible. I mix a little in the song of Angel Death at the end. People seem to be getting a kick out of it, and I'm perplexed by it. Somebody had a great comment. They're like, to get any type of visibility music, you have to be either really good or just suck. And obviously with that video or that song, more on the end of the suck part of it to get any notoriety, if you will. Whereas if you're kind of in the middle, you're just people aren't going to care. So I guess the bad part of it's cashing. I don't know. I'm just rambling. I'm excited about the second channel now getting a little momentum, and hopefully we can build on that. I'm going to put up a cover of Metallica's One. I haven't shot. There's no video for it. Also recorded that in 1998. It's awful. There's a lot of swearing in it, which there isn't in the actual song, but it's just a train wreck. And people appear to be enjoying the old train wreck music I did. So I know a long tangent, not Spurs related, but I'm excited about it. I want to share it with you guys. So thank you. And as always, go Spurs, go. Go Spurs!
'Cause the Giants